work with a lot of people in the high performance executive space, and most of those people are trying to maximize output in their lives, and they're doing a whole lot of stuff. So, for example, they will be doing confidence courses, how to become more confident with a series of tips and tricks and all that kind of stuff, or how to be a better public speaker, or how to communicate better through a board meeting and stuff like that. All these people are trying to, optimize their performance through doing, techniques and stuff like that. Or they will try and, you know, dabble in some things that, maybe a bit of meditation or breath work, or they will, again, maybe down even the anti-aging space and the wellness space, where they start to, try and go down that path to, look a bit more, authoritative, right? So, and again, a lot of people, in my world are very hierarchy based, and they, base, I suppose, power and authority on hierarchy. And they're trying to fix where they have a gap in life by learning something that will give them more authority, more power, more competitive edge, more confidence, more something that there's a gap that gives them where they have a perceived weakness in a way. So they're learning all these things from, executive coaches and performance coaches and therapists and all that kind of stuff, right? I'm about to undo it all. Okay. And yeah, it may upset you, but who cares, right? So the first thing you need to understand when you look around your workplace, the room, your friends, school, pickup, all that kind of stuff, the thing you need to understand is everybody's insecure. Everybody's hiding something. Everyone thinks they're insignificant. Everyone has scarcity issues. Everyone has aspects of themselves that they're too afraid to show people. Everybody's broken. Everybody. And what people in my position tend to do is we try to fix that stuff by doing certain things. So, like we said before, I might try and be a confidence coach who tries to do these things where we do these tricks to try and become more confident, to make us look like, we're more powerful than we are. We might even do that, play the power game, and how can I be more powerful than the other people in the room, right? How can I get an edge on something, right? So there'll be some kinds of, again, performance coaches about how can I outperform my competition. And even the word performance, right? If you're seeing a performance coach, what the fuck is performance? Because most people I know who are performing are fucking exhausted. Like, they are so tired, and they're seeing a performance coach. Like, the word performance is just that. It's an act, right? So yes, you're a performance coach. Yeah, you're full of shit, right? Don't call yourself a performance coach, because performance is bullshit, right? Performance causes you to have major issues, and usually a heart attack at 50. So anyway, what I'm about to say is so common, so well known, so wanky, just to be blatant with you guys. It is so commonly used, but very rarely understood. The only problem you have in life, this is across the board, right? This is the piece of gold that people pay, people like me a lot of money to actually do, right? The only problem you have in life is self-love. That's it. That is the only thing you have an issue with. Now, there may be other things in your life that aren't happening, that you have, issues or problems or circumstances around. I get that, but most of that is a byproduct of other stuff. If you bring things back to its core, if you bring things back to solve all of your problems, the issue that you have is your self-love. And I don't mean the post-it note, put it up there through some fucking spiritual community, or, I'm now in, alignment or coherence with my self-love, right? Very few people have been to the place that they need to go to, that they have the required self-love to go beyond stuff, right? Because self-love doesn't give a shit what other people think. Self-love will say things in meetings that are career limiting because it's the right thing to do. Self-love doesn't manage up. Self-love calls out the stuff that's not right. Self-love doesn't have boundaries because you don't need to if you're in alignment with that. Self-love has compassion. Self-love has connection. Self-love sees more than just left versus right. Radical self-love for yourself has been to the darkest places you've ever been to in your life, and you've had to look at it. Most people don't do self-love. Most people do a bumper sticker of self-love, and they'll call it, or even the plant medicine people, right? I drank ayahuasca and I was in oneness with the universe and all that kind of stuff. And then they're, 2 days later, they're back in the pit of, their relationship issues, and nothing's been solved. I said before, all people are insecure, insignificant. They live life through scarcity. Everybody does. If you have self-love, you don't live like that. If you have self-love, you see what other people are seeing. You feel what other people are feeling. But most of all, you have a capacity within you that nobody can take from you. You have something that nobody can hijack or manipulate. Nobody can do anything or hurt you ever. No relationship, no matter what happens, can they hurt you. No job that you get, retrenched from or, outsourced from or whatever can hurt you. Your ability to have a level of self-love is the solution to all the problems you're looking for. Yes, and I know it's wanky because everyone promotes it. Oh, I just love myself and just love. It's a fucking bumper sticker. And I know it is because a lot of people promote it, but they very rarely do the work to go there to understand what it takes to have that ability, to have that level of self-love that is very rare in this world. Most people walking around telling themselves they love them is just a lie. Most people walking around going, I love myself a lot. No, even the affirmation people, oh, I love myself. I love myself, right? Seriously. Affirmations don't work. Never have, never will, right? If you're doing affirmations, stop, right? They just don't work. Yeah, but the level of, if you had self-love, 99.999% of your problems would cease to exist. The jobs you're looking for, the relationships you're looking for, the wealth you're looking for, the alignment you're looking for, the connection you're looking for, the peace, the slowness you're looking for is just an extension of that. And when you feel it and you know it, you'll go, oh, okay, Greg, yeah, there's this, and then there's what everybody else does. There's the bumper sticker version of self-love. Now, I don't mean forgiveness, right? It's a whole other conversation, right? The self-love that I'm talking about takes you to a place that's quite scary. Takes you a place where every part of your insecurities, every part of who you think you are, and every part of what you've encountered in life gets exposed, and exposed in a way that is scary but transformative or transformational in a way. And for those people who have actually done it and know exactly what I'm talking about, they can vouch for the fact that stepping into a place where you have a self love that is quite hard to describe, life in itself becomes very, very different. And most of the people out there who are trying to do self love, it's a form of coping mechanism, or it's something to say you're doing because you want to look like you're doing something, or it's part of some kind of men's group or women's group talking about self love, right? To go to the place and actually choose, like, and the thing is that this is the thing is it's not about um you have to choose it. As what I found is that the hardest thing for me was actually choosing it. It was not revealing it. It was the fact that it was placed in front of me, and actually I had to choose to take it. And to choose to take it, there's tears, there's there's howling, there's there's a massive shift in that way, right? And because we're not used to it, it's not how most people live their lives. It's not how most people are made up. Most people are running away from a childhood wound to try and compensate for a lack of something that they grow up with. Especially in my space, people are so obsessed with achieving stuff because that's how they got noticed as a child. That's what they were ingrained with, that if they achieve, then that's how they get love and affection. And they just continually do it and call it performance and make it some kind of fucking badge of honor. And all of them are exhausted. Let me tell you that most people I deal with are seriously fucked. Like, they're seriously so tired. The mask they're wearing, and they are just sick and tired of wearing the mask of competing and performing and the fucking job titles on LinkedIn and that. Like, seriously. And when they stop and they deal with it and they stop performing and they actually come from a place of radical self love, it's not something you do. It's not a performance. It's not a ritual. It's not a meditation. It's not some kind of ascended fucking light coach or whatever the bullshit they teach these days. It's not a process. It's not a breathwork exercise. It's not a optimization or wellness or anti-aging stuff. It's a choice. And that's the thing, is that choice is the hardest thing you'll do. The choice to completely love yourself in all aspects, 360 degree, right? Everything you've done, all the bad shit you've done, all the good shit, all the stuff you're hiding, everything, right? And there'll be people who go, yeah, I do that. Yes, yes, yes. Just intellectually, right? To do it energetically, emotionally, psychologically, and intellectually is a whole other different kettle of fish. Like I said, you can't, right? You can't plant medicine your way through this either, right? This is something you do way outside of plant medicine kind of thing. So if you're thinking in a place of, hey, I'm going to do some kind of thing and do it that way, yeah, okay, right, quick fix it. No, right? It's not going to happen, because the job of that is to actually make the choice outside of this stuff, right? So your ability to choose it is the barrier. And the moment you do, you show up as a different person. You show up as something completely different. And nobody in that point can take anything from you. Nobody can hurt you ever again. And all of a sudden, your relationship changes, your job changes, your wealth changes, the whole shooting match changes. And yes, there's people out there who peddle self love, but it's a bumper sticker. It really is. It's so light on it, so low level. Um, and it's good because, again, you can say you're doing it, but in the end of it, you know, to go to a place which this requires, um, is pretty intense. So, so I want to wrap it up by saying that the only problem you have in life is the way you think about yourself and the way you feel about yourself. And the solution to everything in your life is the way that you think and feel about yourself. Everything else is a byproduct of that. And when you get that, you stop doing all the other shit that you've been doing to try and fix the problem. And then, which you've been wasting your time with bloody performance coaches or therapists or whatever the shit that's out there today. You have one problem and you've got one solution. And if you want to tackle that, then well done. I applaud you because it takes guts, it takes courage, and it takes a whole lot of balls to do this because it'll be the scariest thing you do. But it'll also be the most amazing thing and the most amazing journey you'll actually take. Because on the other side of that is a life that not what you've dreamed of, it's beyond that.